Episode number 7 with Mr. Ewan Rodger. And you are here today, my friend, to talk about shit that pisses you off. Number 1.
Bodybuilding talk, Instagram lingo.
Go on then, elaborate, please.
You've seen me just go on a rampage over the last couple of weeks and just ask people everything that they, all the sayings that they hate. It's just the sayings. Send it, LFG, we move. I could go on and on and on. Can't stand it. Pisses me. Does my head in. And I actually seen a guy, like, I spoke like that for what I think it was 3 stories. And I actually said to my training partner at the time, I don't know how you can be that much of a cunt constantly. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's hard just to try and remember everything, what to say. Like, send it. Where the fuck are you sending the leg press? Where are you sending the hack squat to? Do you know what I mean? Like, we move.
Where are we moving?
Yeah, where are we moving? LFG, let's fucking go. Where are we going? Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's almost like trends, isn't it? Like, every year there's something. There's I can't even recall like what it was last year, but there was stuff. You know, Ryan, you call that out quite a lot sometimes when, you know.
Yeah, before I actually met you, Ewan, I used to talk about this while I dinner chat, like on Instagram. I just hate the way that people. The biggest one I think that would like sum it all up is referring to yourself singular as we.
We. Yes.
Where did it come from? Like, what is that? Does it happen in other sports as well, or is it just bodybuilding? I don't know. Like,
I think it's just bodybuilding. Like, we just talk it like we're alter egos. We placed. Who placed? You placed. You placed. Whatever. Not we. Not your coach. No offense to coaches. Your coach. Your coach is not on that stage with you. We placed third. We came third. No, you didn't. You came third. You stepped on stage. You come third. Not your coach.
Yeah, not the result we came for.
Yeah. Not what we can. We move. LFG. We bring a better package next time.
Package. You know what? I've been doing
most sports. You can probably get away with saying we, because most sports are
team,
or work in a team. Bodybuilding is like a singular sport. It's
you couldn't really get much more singular than bodybuilding. It's hard to get more singular.
Just think about it, like Andy Murray playing tennis. Do you think Andy Murray's fucking stood there like in his like addressing his phone or addressing in an interview? We didn't get the win today. We didn't get what we came for. We move. We come back stronger.
Absolutely not. I think maybe like what Tony just said. It's like maybe it comes from like people sport. Like football is the most popular sport, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's like people watching football because when they do, like a player will come out and he'll he will say we, but it's talking about the team, right? Maybe they're just getting influenced from that shit. I don't know. But and the thing that goes with it, I think I said to you before as well, it's like them little emojis that go with it, LFG, and there'll be like a rocket.
The rocket that goes with it, and the send it.
Or the little dartboard as well.
On point.
Do you come across this, Chad?
I don't know. I don't really just pay attention to any of that shit. I'm just kind of like...
You don't have to pay attention to it. It's in your face. Okay?
The thing is, the way I think about it is, it's not enough to upset me. Like, I just don't give a shit,
Yeah. I do you know what? It depends on the day you catch me, but sometimes I'm like, whatever. But then some days, do you not have these days? Some days things just wind you up more. And sometimes I literally will have to like put my phone down. It's like winding me up too much. Like I literally get to Instagram and do an edit.
Yep. The other day, I seen a lad who I know, and I won't name him because I'm not that person. I'm not going to drop a name. I wouldn't want to upset him. His tampon might hit the fan. He made a reel, and it said everyone. It was like, and it just pissed me off just looking at it. When you prime yourself for the set, why are you saying prime first off? It's when you're getting ready for your set. You don't have to use the word prime. Doesn't make you sound fucking clever. It's when you're getting ready for your set. But he said, when I'm priming for the set, we go to war. Get ready to set. Send it to hell and back. We move. And I thought, have you just literally just before actually saying all this content, have you just made a list of all the insayings and thought, how can I put all this shit together to be relevant? Like,
Yeah, 100%.
And then what makes it worse is when they cut the set short of like 2 reps at shy of failure, and you just think all that talk and for what?
It will tie into other points, but it's even worse that it came from a men's physique lad.
Yeah.
With
really?
Training legs.
Oh,
yeah.
I think I know who this is.
You probably do.
I'll talk to you afterwards, but yeah, I think I know who that is because I saw a post from a men's physique guy doing a leg press, and it was literally like that. It was like a battle cry. Everyone of them fucking like going to war. It was like
going to war, mate. Oh, like bodybuilding is not going to war, mate. Like you're getting in the gym, your air conditioned gym, your gym with a fan.
Yeah. In fact, I would say a lot of bodybuilders are actually pretty soft, to be honest with you. But I always feel like maybe like boxers or mixed martial artists or just fucking men in the real world looking at this shit, being like,
yeah, it's complaining about like 30 minutes of cardio. You know, we make it out like it's a fucking like big thing to do. 100%. Like there's people that run like 10 miles like every day, like it's nothing.
Ultramarathon. Yeah. I don't actually follow many, but Amy, my girlfriend, follows loads of bikini girls, so I get to see it through her. And the amount of girls that are crying on the stair marks, don't you? You know, like because they think it's so difficult. And I'm like, I don't know, like maybe if there was something that I did that made me cry every day, or like at least once a week, I wouldn't do it.
No, why would you do it?
I don't get it, man. Like, what the fuck?
It's tension, though, isn't it? Like, that's what it is.
But I think that's what it is. Like that's why these people talk like when they talk, they pick it up like that because to them it's maybe they don't actually enjoy bodybuilding. They're not really doing it for the right reasons. You know what I mean?
Always just for attention. So one thing I do see that does not piss me off, but I'm kind of like just thinking is there's a guy, and again I'm not going to name him either, but he does these like cringy fucking sayings like before sets, not before sets, but he writes it in the description. You'll know, and he's got like a little like circle with like an O in it, almost like that's like the thing to do. And he goes like, if I said it, you'll know because you'll know who he is, but it would come out. Fuck it, you might have to cut this out. He says like control is currency. You know what I'm talking about?
He says what?
He says control is currency, or currency is control.
I haven't seen it, but that sounds
hold on.
I need to see this.
Hold on. Every fucking set, he's a Team LRF guy.
Oh God, that's enough said.
Hold on. His name's this guy. That's the other one.
Yeah.
He says control is currency. Every caption says control is currency. Control is currency, and it's like, mate, you're fucking squatting like just shut the fuck up. Like every time. See, that's something that pisses me off.
I remember speaking to someone about this, and they're like, "Why do they take bodybuilding so seriously? Like, isn't it supposed to be enjoyable?"
It is. Talk the talk. Talk like talking, and talk like as in like the physics term. Talk the talk.
Oh, talk the talk.
Yes, yeah. Like that shit. Fucking, it's cringy as fuck.
It is talk. And what's he ever done? Has he ever placed? He's probably never placed, has he?
I know he's an average level bodybuilder. I know that much.
Yeah. You know who he is, don't you?
Yeah, talk the talk. Yeah, and you're an average bodybuilder. Sorry, mate. Yeah. Okay, well done, pal.
Don't worry, I'll edit his name out, but I'll keep the cover.
Oh, fuck it. Who gives a fuck?
Talk. Again,
it's not like, all right, fuck him.
It's not even back it up. But then he's one of those guys that will then, we didn't get the result today. We didn't get what we came for. But next year, we're coming pro card hunting, baby.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He don't look bad. He's like an oldish guy, probably 50 odd. But come on.
I know, man. I don't. Do you know what's mad is? Right, these people are blissfully unaware. Like they act this way, they speak this way, but they have no idea that it's cringy. They're just going about their business. They think this is normal shit. Yeah, and they don't realize that it is fucking.
It's just because I'm not that way inclined. I'll just have a conversation because I like having a conversation. I'll talk because I talk. I don't feel like I've got to follow a trend or be a sheep. Do you know what I mean? Or just that sounds cool. I'm going to steal that saying from someone. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's. You just see them; they just move in patterns. Like another one, landing the plane.
Yeah.
Landing. Oh, why, again, bodybuilding terminology, why do we have to, like, everything's gone sciencey, everything's gone, we have to make it a terminology, like you say, like, talk the talk and currency, whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? Land the plane. About land the plane.
Maybe it's because bodybuilding is incredibly boring, and a lot of boring cunts, and like they just feel they got to like make it more exciting. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. We have to make it sound really, really scientific and really, like I say, it used to be just like meatheads that just eat and train and that was it. Now it's gone too far the other way, and it's like we have to try and think of fancy big words to try and make it sound interesting.
Yeah, uploading and all that sort of shit. Yeah. And you just think,
that's been around since the 90s plus. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, it's a new peaking protocol or the fat load.
The way it is because someone comes on and they're like, look, that's my way. That's the new way. You've just coined the term. You're just giving it a name. That's all it is.
The technique's been around for years, but yeah.
Marketing, and that's, well, some people are making a killing off it.
Well, I don't know about you, but if I saw someone talking, not like a really obnoxious like that dude, but like if I saw a coach talking that and like I was thinking about getting someone new, I'd avoid that shit like the plague. Like someone using like scientific words to try and sound smart. You know what I mean? Yeah. The sentence could be really short, but instead they make it really long and fancy. And it's like,
but that's again, people buy. Some people buy into it. I don't buy into it. Like I'll buy into results, just like you guys will. Do you know what I mean? You'll look at someone and be like, right, let's do the results back up what they're saying. No, but people are just sold by, oh, he sounds really clever. He sounds really intelligent. He sounds like he knows the ins and outs of everything. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to learn something off him, when realistically you don't learn fuck all, and then look probably worse than you ever did before.
Hey, me and Amy have been talking about this recently, right? So she's talking about what appeals to the mass audience, and I said we got into a bit of heated, not an argument, like a debate about it. Like, I don't really care what appeals to the mass audience. I want to do it my way, okay? Yeah. And if my way is seen by someone and they don't think that it's good, like it's not fancy enough, okay, you're not my audience. I don't care. Like you either like real results with a person who's real and has got real experience and blah blah blah. You either like that or you don't. Amy is talking much more about like appealing to the mass audience, but I don't know.
From a business side of things, yes, it makes.
We spoke about this. It's like, you know, making your check-in form so complicated with how many fucking shits you take a day. It's like to the regular lifestyle client and even an average entry-level competitor, does that really fucking matter? And equally, if I have issues with digestion, I am not going to wait till it's time to write it on my fucking form. I'm going to message you and I'll say, look, I've got fucking issues with digestion.
Yeah.
Well, these coaches, though, they don't want you talking to them unless it's check-in day.
Yeah, I don't. I'll be honest, unless I'm really, really urgently, I'll speak to Tom once a week when I check in. That's it. And we'll conversate. I don't need mollycoddling, just like you guys don't. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's...
Yeah, do you not know, but there's, I know a coach, again, won't say the name, but like there's a designated day and he won't talk to his clients unless it's that day, but he's still happy to charge, what, $250, $300 a month for it. And it's like... some people need more help. Some people do need more help.
I've seen coaches now that have like office hours. They go, I only work between this time and this time. I thought that the point of a coach is that you're accessible at all times.
Well. Really, it's reply within 24 hours. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be way before that, but like, all right, I might cut off my phone at like 10 o'clock. Do you know what I mean? Just to chill out, relax. Cool. That's it. But and up first thing in the morning. But other than that, like, fucking, you're paying $1 for something that's shit service. Let's be honest. Like, I can only speak once a week.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, it seems like the guys who get more clout, they charge more, and then they give less.
Yeah,
it's like people who are up and coming want to prove themselves, and so if anything, they're like offering more of themselves. Yeah. You know what I mean? As a coach, you know what I mean. So people think they're getting more money. Again, I won't name the name, but I had two guys come from the same dude, and they both told me he was twice my price. He was double my price. And he was half the contact. I've had one of the dudes for like a year and a half now, and it's just like, oh man.
I know a coach that would force his clients to check in before like 7 a.m. in the morning, and if they don't, he'll give them shit because he likes to get up and do his work early. And if you don't check in at that time, you've missed the check-in. And he goes, "Well, you've missed the check-in. Now it's going to be next week."
These fucking mate, I tell you what though, but they get like a bit of a cult following. There are certain people in the UK they get like a cult following, and people will just don't eat shit just to fucking be on their team, even though it's a team that you're paying for. Like he doesn't care. You're a paycheck to him.
Yep, they don't care. You're funding their lifestyle, but just to again, just to be part of the clique, you know, like you say, pay that top dollar, and the service is shit.
And then you know, you might see him going to fancy restaurants and buying fancy trainers and like, you know, I mean, like £500 trainers, and you're like,
Dubai,
yeah.
Dubai,
Yeah.
and you think, yeah, my 3 ton a month's paying for that, you whopper. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't even speak to me.
I'd be pissed off if I was charging that and he didn't reply to me for a couple of days, and then he was at this fancy restaurant getting that gold steak, you know, that gold shit. Come on.
I think I'd probably just like to wipe it off because it looks like
No.
like doing it.
No, you're absolutely right. It actually doesn't look good. It actually does not look good. I think I'm just curious. I see so many Dubai coaches doing it. I'm like,
I'm not really fussed at like fancy restaurants. I would much rather go to like a buffet that I can just fucking pig out.
Hey, 100%. Mate, me and Amy on like cheat night, because I get 3 cheats a week. And one of them is just McDonald's drive-through. Fuck it, that'll do.
Mate, McDonald's is so good. Every Wednesday is a McDonald's night for me at the minute. It's not even that. It's actually really good because you can track it.
Yeah, 100%.
And you know exactly how much you're taking in.
I'm really not food focused. I don't think any of us are that food focused. So it's just, it is what it is. It serves a purpose.
You've got like a staple McDonald's order.
Go on, Ewan. What's yours?
But mine, oh, fucking hell. You're probably looking at a double quarter pounder with cheese, large meal, Big Mac meal, large, and then I'll probably have like a chicken sandwich or something on the side.
We have all of that together.
Yes. When you go,
I'll have a 5-piece chicken select, large, with a Big Mac on the side and a flurry.
That's it.
Judd.
I'm a puss. But that's about 1,600
How the fuck
calories.
do you weigh 130 kilos?
Because that's only one meal of 7.
So it's the cheat meal.
Yeah, I hate it. I actually resent it. As I'm paying for it, I'm like,
Do you know what?
McDonald's is good.
What's yours? Go on.
I like the ones that are like, what are they, savers menu. So I'll get like 6 little burgers. So I'll get like, normally I'll get like 2 chicken burgers. I'll get 2 mayo chicken with bacon, and I'll get 2 double cheeseburgers. Then I get fries, a McFlurry, and I'll get 10 nuggets. We'll share like a share box. So I'll get
and you'll bang all that?
Huh?
You'll bang all that?
Yeah, that's easy to do.
What's wrong with my appetite? I'm shit, man. I say this to Martin.
It takes a little bit of time, but you sit, watch a film and eat.
I'm the worst super heavy, mate. I'm 280, 290 pounds, but I've got the appetite of a fucking, I don't know, 200 pound guy.
Yeah, but you can get there. You can get there like dead easy. Like,
yeah.
Do you know what, Ryan? I think a lot of the food you eat is like, say for example, you eat a lot of potato.
Yeah, I cut my potato down.
Potato has like fuck all calories in it. Potato's got fuck all calories in it. What's that?
Beef and rice.
Yeah, potato's got fuck all calories in it, but there's so much volume.
I know. Well, I just eat what Martin tells me, mate. Really.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But yeah, it was 600 grams of potato in one meal.
Oh, fuck that.
7. I've got one
if
at
you
7.
air fry it, it shrinks it down. It's a bit better.
Yeah, I microwave it. It still does shrink a bit. But,
yeah.
You microwave potato?
Microwave potato every day.
Have you got an air fryer?
No.
Oh, mate. That's why you hate food.
I've
got 2.
Really? That different?
You need to get...
Especially
for like potato, it just shrinks it. It shrinks it down to nothing.
It shrinks in the microwave.
Is it still hard? It's still chewing?
No, it goes soft, and then I put it in on the frying pan and crisp off the top.
Just get an air fryer. It takes like 25 minutes, half hour tops, and get some good potato.
Right, done.
You had one, but it was shit.
Dan, sorry, you're a bodybuilder, so you should have an air fryer because that's the in thing.
So that's another thing. Like, if you've not got an air fryer, you're like behind.
You're not. You are. You're average.
I'm not part of the clique. Fuck.
But no, you are missing out by not having an air fryer.
Really are.
Right, okay, so this conversation has led me to 2 things. Right, number 1, I'm going to join Callum Team Pro Coach. And number 2, I'm getting an air fryer. All right, 2 things.
Knows how to land the plane.
Right, anyway, let's get a conclusion. Bodybuilder talk in room 101, yes or no?
Yes.
100%. On to the next one, my friend. Go.
PED and fat burning use from bikini girls.
Go on, elaborate, please.
This, as far as I'm aware, is getting out of hand. You live with a bikini girl. You know what's what. She's a very successful bikini girl. I know bikini girls. I know figure girls. Like, we all know people, and I know figure girls that are using far, far, far less than some of these current bikini girls. I've seen a couple of stacks recently from bikini girls that have used more fat burners than I've used any prep. And, like, say, class 1 super heavyweight bodybuilder, like you lot are, do you know what I mean? And you're looking at like 50 meg T3, 100 meg T4, 150 meg T4. You're him by
T3?
Yeah.
50 T3 for a bikini girl. Wow.
Bikini girl.
God.
You're him by, I think that was 37 and a half, I think. I could be quite like Clen at 120 to 160. Do you know what I mean? Like, and also then I found someone else who then had all that. And I think I told you that with over-the-counter fat burn as well and water tablets. That's just one person.
That's crazy. I think I'll come across this as well. I think I know who you're talking about, right? But so let me ask you this, and for the people watching, a lot of people love steroid talk and they love like natty or not and shit. Do you think that it's possible to get high level? And I'm not talking like you've won a couple of regions. I'm talking high level. Do you think it's possible to do that without those things? Even as a bikini girl, like what I mean, like high level.
Personally,
what, just bikini or just in general?
Well, but both of you. Do you think that someone could get like proper without that?
I mean, realistically, how much is it helping? To an extent, it will help. Like all the natural stuff, that's just appetite suppressant, essentially, just stimulant.
Yeah.
But for like the cleansing, that I think past a certain dosage,
it's too much.
More.
Huh?
Past like 80. You're just getting like, you just struggle to sleep.
Well, your body builds up a tolerance to it pretty fast.
Yeah.
That's why people cycle it on, like 2 on, 2 off, or 2 weeks, because of the tolerance that you build up to. But so would you say that it is possible? Because I know my answer. My answer is yes, I believe that you can get that, especially as a bikini girl, without mega high doses.
Well, again, as a bikini girl, 100%. Like. And I've actually found a new level of respect for the bikini category. I actually do enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? It is actually a good category. It's actually a really tough category to try and judge.
Yes.
But for a bikini girl, no offense to them, you do not need to be running that level of fat burner or even, like, say, PEDs, where there's just, again, personal opinion. To make it, if you're not trying to make it to a pro, then what are you going to have to do then in a pro league with some of those that put up there?
It's because they've not got that much muscle. But majority of bikini girls lack the muscle, which then means you have to do more to get rid of the body fat because you've not got the muscle. If you got more muscle, it makes it easier. Not easier, but more muscle needs more food. So you can theoretically diet on more food.
Yeah. That's definitely a thing, mate. I think the other thing that like people aren't realizing, I think a lot of bikini girls don't realize, if you're too hard, if the look is too hard, you'll go down. You ain't winning shit. If you've got too much muscle and you're too lean, you ain't winning shit.
Nope.
So when you think about what the purpose of using, like, let's say they put in a small bit of testosterone or even Primo, I heard some girls using, or Anavar, these produce an anabolic effect, and also they produce that, you know, at the latter stages of the diet, they produce that hardened look where you look like fucking granite, right? 2 things that the bikini category does not need.
I think what's worse, more than the fat burners, is coaches putting girls on 50 megs of Anavar.
Yep.
I think that's worse than...
I don't believe that. Is that actually, does the coaches do that? 50?
Yeah.
Mate, I don't want to name him, but yes.
Same. Yes, they do. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm not naming names, but I know the people that do. And like I say, it's not just 50.
Someone that we're going to have on the podcast, his missus was under that coach, and he put her on 50 mgs of Anavar.
Someone we've had on already?
Someone we're going to have.
think. Right. So actually, this was quite an interesting thing. I came across this the other day. Do you remember when Make Bodybuilding Great at that page?
Yeah.
It was outing coaches who were like shitters, right?
Yep.
It was outing this coach who would put a girl on like loads of fucking gear, okay? And everyone was like, this guy's a scumbag. And there was someone who made a video about him. And it was only because this girl was low level. That's the only reason why everyone called him out. Because these guys, there are some guys who are high level who are being put on by that, but no one's saying fuck all about that. Why? Why are we choosing that it's okay sometimes and not okay others?
Because I think it's the trade-off in bodybuilding, isn't it? If they're a high level, then it's you're getting high reward for it. I say high reward, you're getting a reward for it. If it's a low-level competitor, what's the point? What's the need? You know what I mean? Like, and that's, you kind of fucking with your health and fucking with hormones and. You know.
Well, I guess I do agree with that, but then it's an arbitrary number, isn't it? Like, how good do you have to be when it can justify steroids?
I think it's just like the way in men's, like, it's more so that the not as good competitors use more.
Loads, yeah.
I've had clients come to me and they're on fucking loads.
Right.
Like, madness. Well, so that's what I'm on about. It's just an arbitrary number. So, like, up to a certain level, you shouldn't use that much, and then over a certain level, you should use more. Is that what you're saying?
Look, when you get into the pro leagues, you know what it's like. Let's be honest.
So before pro, would you say that it's not necessary until you get pro? What about if it fast tracks you to the pro league?
No, because then where are you leaving yourself with to go? If you're taking that much to get to a pro league, one, you've not got the genetics for it anyway, which, you know, it's fair enough. It's an achievement to get to a pro level. Do you know what I mean? It's the goal for everyone. Like, realistically, you tell anyone that gets into bodybuilding, like, they want to become a pro. But if it's taking a lot to get there, then realistically, what are you leaving yourself with when you're in a pro rank? You're just going to be a low-level pro. Like, and that's just...
And you get that a lot. People will turn pro and never compete again.
Yeah. Yeah, because they abuse themselves to get there, and
I think that's the reality for a lot of people. Like, being 6'3", like, I want my pro card next year, and I'm not saying I'm just saying I'm going for it. Like, let's say it takes me a year, let's say 2. Let's say I don't even get it, but why not make it? If I get it, then what? What done? What am I going to do in the pro league? I'm not good enough. I'm not. I might be good enough within the next 5 years to get it. But am I good enough to be more than that? Probably not. It's almost like, why? Like, I don't know.
I just think it's like a stepping stone. You're at that point now that there's no, what reward is it you turning up to local FitX shows and taking the overall, like, oh, got another sword, my 16th one. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, at this point, it's almost like, well, you got to go for that pro card, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got the right to actually go for it. Do you know what I mean? Like, whereas you've done you've paid your dues. You've
Rent's
done,
due.
You are
Rent's due.
Rent's due. Sorry, yeah. You've paid your rent. You're now on a mortgage. No, but you've done your time. You've won your swords, and it's the type when you've won a university, you've won overalls. Then you've got the right to say, right, okay, now I can challenge. Do you know what I mean? Now I can push for it. Like, that's the time to say it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think it might close a few doors when I do that. I don't know.
Well, could say that. I'm about to say, look at Melee, look at Joel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Too tall.
For me, like, being a tall guy, I always look at Joel. Joel is the gold standard of tall bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not talking 6 foot. I'm talking tall.
Yeah, above. Yeah.
He is ridiculous, and I don't think I'll ever be that good. I'll never be as good as him. Like, even if you gave me another 5 years, I'm not going to be as good as him. I don't believe, and even he's like, and even he can't do it. So,
but the thing is, you knew that going into bodybuilding, you didn't think, yeah, I could be Mr. Olympia. Like,
no.
You knew that. So by signing up to do that, it's not for the competitive side. You could. I mean, it's still good to say I am an IFBB pro.
Yeah, it's like saying professional football. Like, take football again. It doesn't matter if you're League One, Championship, or Premier League football. You've still got, if you're not playing Premier League football, does that mean you're going to jack in football? No, you're still getting to the pinnacle of saying I am a professional. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's even like
I guess so. Yeah, I know it's quite pessimistic, but I just think like I do this because I love it, and then the moment if I became a pro, it'd be like, oh, now what? Like I'm a really shit pro. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. It won't be that enjoyable anymore because you just get walked all over.
Experience, though, isn't it? Like again, pro.
Maybe.
Are you planning to try and compete in the PCA as a pro?
Yeah, I want to do both.
Yeah.
But my goal would be, in an ideal world, PCA pro, and then maybe go for IFBB, and then at the point that I get the IFBB, I might call it quits. I don't know.
You've got to do a pro show.
You reckon? I'm not saying this because I'm trying to look for a compliment. I don't think that I'm good enough to be making a mark in the pro league. So it's almost like, why am I doing it? I'm not turning up to come last. I'm not.
Yeah, but it's just fun to just stand next to those top guys, you know. Imagine just stand, even if you are last. I mean, even the guys that are decent, Cuba, like, you know, he can't. He's not there yet. But it's just worth trying it.
I think what it is like you put yourself for a lot of shit for the prep, like the cycle, the fucking. I feel like each time you do it, you're taking a year or so of your life. Like it's strenuous to fuck. So I'm going to do all that to come last. I don't know.
It's at the end of the day, like you say, like how many good bodybuilders do you know that are still, one, they're not at the pinnacle, and two, they're not winning shows? Like, again, it's how many pro shows are there a year? What, let's just say 20?
Yeah.
Like, what, and out of 20 guys, out of how many thousands of IFBB pros there are, it's, do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to look at it like ratios and realism. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll be honest, like, personal opinion, ever since that they've changed the pro card to however many a year now from the one pro card, like, realistically in the UK right now, as good as the bodybuilding is and the amateur bodybuilding, like the people that are going pro and there's potential, realistically, other than Hollingshead, who was the last UK BFF who's pro, who else has done anything?
Samson.
It was the same year. It was just it was the same year. He'd done it at a Poland show.
Hector.
Not done anything. And I'm not being harsh. I'm not like.
No, you're right.
He actually done a fair few shows, hasn't he?
There's no top threes, is there? Damien Gahal or Mark? Yeah.
Rob kind of competed, like, he, done well. But again, Cuba, you could go on and on. Since the pro card's changed, none of those guys have broke into. Hector's going to get there. Do you know what I mean? Hector is going to get there. But realistically, Hector turned pro in what, 2018, 2019?
18.
Yeah, taken until now. It used to be, again, the supers, even the people turning pro, they were ready to step into the pro ranks probably 1 or 2 years off. Do you know what I mean? Being realistically in the mix. But even then.
Yeah, it was Nath, James, Luke. And they all Nath was ready to go pretty much straight away. James took a year off. Luke took a year off. But yeah.
I mean, Rob Taylor took a while to turn pro.
Yeah.
Say again?
Rob Taylor took a while to turn pro.
Did he take time off once he became pro?
No, don't think he did he?
But he's also not placed top 3, right?
He's won a show.
Yeah, he's won a show. He's won a 212.
Yeah, he's on his way to Olympia.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Dean White as well, sorry. But Dean White's said except.
Dean and Rob Taylor, other than Hollingshead.
Yeah. And I'm not.
Oh, Nathan. We're missing out Nathan.
Yeah, Nathan, but he said since Hollingshead. Nathan was before.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, Hollingshead was the last UK BFF when it was just one pro card.
It was 2017, wasn't it, I think?
17, 18?
2017, because Luke was 16, Sass was 15, Nathan was 14.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like those guys, they were literally ready to, like say, 2 years, like they're making waves. So like now I just think it's the more pros that are coming, it's just good to get up there. Do you know what I mean? It would be good just to get up there, stand with them. Do you know what I mean? If I were you.
But what you just said there is exactly where my head's at. It's like I'm thinking, yeah, you're right, but also what I've got to do is I've got to change my mindset from thinking I'm going to win to I'm just turning up.
I mean,
I don't know what that makes. I don't know if I'm fired up for that. I don't know if I'm going to not cheat on my diet for that. Do you know what I mean? Like not cheating on my diet because I think I'm going to win is one thing, but just turning up.
Just to do it, just to say you've done it.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, that's just. I was going to say you could turn around that and say like, you might again, realistically, even like on a PCA level, like FitX level, you could win in a lineup of adequate, like, average bodybuilders. Do you know what I mean? You take home a trophy, take home a sword, or you could place second, third, fourth against people, the best of the best. Do you know what I mean? Like, but bring your best package. Do you know what I mean? Like, what would you rather look the worst but win a sword, or would you look the best? And I'd rather look the best. It's personal development, isn't it? Like,
against people that are really like, I know what you're saying.
I think when you went against Connor, that must have felt good.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's someone who's recognised within the amateur ranks and someone who is gunning for a pro card, realistically. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. When you think back to it, you think of the big guys. You know, even like Anton Scott.
Yes.
Like, is he that accomplished on the bodybuilding stage? No, but he's a really big guy. For me, it's like those kind of wins feel good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because in my head, when I saw him going for that show, I was thinking, shit, like, I don't know if I can beat that. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because we spoke about at the start of the show, and you're like, oh, he's doing it.
Yeah.
Because I had someone in the show, didn't I? So you were like, oh, he's going to take that. He's going to take that class.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, and then you won it, bro.
Yeah.
You knew you'd win.
I don't know, man. Anyway, we've sidetracked a little bit here, so let's get back to the fucking point. So, in room 101, females using too many PEDs. Bikinis.
Yes.
100%. 100%. It's not needed for the category, so fuck it. Fuck it off. So, third point, mate. Go for it. Third point.
People carrying a 20-kilo suitcase into the gym and classing it as a gym bag. Like, what the? Like, come on. Like, I rock into the gym. Like, again, I'm just old school. Like, I'll just take, like, if it's legs, I'm taking knee sleeves. That's it. Like, same if it's push. Do you know what I mean? Maybe elbow sleeves, some wrist wraps. If it's back, it's straps. These fuckers, tripod, $2,000 camera, bands, daisy chains, fucking Vibrams, Converse, because just to get the absolute best fucking mind to muscle connection on the quads. Do you know what I mean? Like the vastest lat, because they want to hit that in the correct like range of motion, the lengthened range, fucking everything. Do you know what I mean? Like the gym pin. Oh, not to forget, sometimes people do bring prime handles, and don't forget the gum shield as well.
Oh, get fucked. Oh my god. Yeah, what happened to people? Honestly, what the fuck?
That is literally the description of all the gear, no idea.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. It's like, it's just got worse and worse. And you know what? Unfortunately, like, it's like, it is still really popular. Like, as much as we can think it's shit, it fucking works. People buy into it. The dudes that are pushing this shit, they're running successful coaching businesses. People love this shit.
Mate, there's people now that carry buy like these like long ropes, and will carry like 2 ropes. They're like 4 meters each, and you carry them to the gym.
Yeah. What? So just so you can hit the tricep in the length and range, like because before just the one rope, you know, like Ronnie and Jay and every other cunt that's built a set of triceps, they don't have that outer head.
Josh Bridgman sells these like long fucking ropes. They're like this big, and then it's like a long as fuck rope. People buy it to carry in the gym to do tricep extension.
Ronnie Coleman is gutted that he didn't listen to fucking Dave Smith from Scunthorpe do the fucking battle ropes for his triceps.
I seen a lad the other day in the gym, and I just I cringed again. And I feel like I've just personally attacked one person here, but never mind. One of those ropes, pulled 2 of them out, 2 ropes out, like overhead tricep extension with fat grips on the end of it. And I'm not like you're putting fat grips on the end of a tricep for, like, what's it going to do? What is the difference between the rope and having a fat grip there?
If anything, it will just make you not lift as much, because it'll work for your forearms when you're doing biceps. People are like, what the fuck?
What's he doing on tricep?
But what advantage is there really for a big forearms for a bodybuilder? Like, what I mean is, when you train, your forearms will get some work, get some grip, right?
Yeah.
But realistically, you don't want your forearms to be big, because then it will throw off the proportions, right?
Yep.
Have you seen an arm wrestler's arm? Like their forearm?
Yep.
It's ginormous, and then their biceps nowhere near as big. You know what I mean? It throws the look off. I don't know why the fuck you do that.
I also think like forearms is a genetic body part. Some people have them, some people don't.
Yeah.
And if you train them, it's like calves. If you train them,
Yeah.
it don't make no fucking difference.
God, you've got calves. How often do you train calves?
I do train them now, but I tell you what, consistently I've trained them for the last like 3 months. I've seen no difference. But I train them hard.
But for like the 6 or 7 years prior, did you train them at all?
Never. No. This is what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, they're just genetics, you know?
What are yours like, Ewan? I can't remember.
Average, do you know what I mean? Just like the rest of me, just average. It's slightly.
I actually can't remember.
No.
When I measure mine, they're not actually that dissimilar from yours, I think. But it's just where I'm so long.
Yeah.
The
insertion. It's the insertion.
Yeah,
like, look at a Flex Lewis calf, it hangs all the way down to like the Achilles. Then you take other people's, it's just like that little blob.
Yeah, this is it. Mine's tiny all the way down the bottom. So this my calves aren't actually that big measurement wise, but it's just because of how they insert.
Yeah, because it's your Achilles tendon, isn't it? You know, the bit below the calf. When it's really long and thin, it looks fucking like me. I absolutely hate it, especially on stage. I think it really like stands out, but I can't really do anything about it.
Was it that one of your feedbacks this year? Was it from the PCA?
What's that? Sorry.
Sure, that was one of your feedbacks. You know, on the PCA from one of the PCA. I'm sure it was calf development on one of them. I'm sure you put it up saying
it was calves and biceps. They said.
Look, it's the two shit body parts. Do you know what I mean? Like if the on calves, do you know what I mean? The nitpicking there. So look, Ian Val made a career out of having 0 calves. Do you know what I mean? Like.
But you know what I find? Some people don't have calves, but they get away with it somehow. And I think it is because of the insertion. So there's a guy, again, I don't like to name names, but there's a guy, and no one freaks him out for it, but they're literally, I trained with him before, and like he's got no calves. But because it just inserts low down to his ankle, like it doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, because I'm not slagging him off, his name's Nate Starks.
Yes.
No stars. He's like, it's not slagging him off. I fucking really like the guy, but like, his calves, they're not big at all, but they don't look small because of the way it inserts. I don't know.
And his quads are fucking massive. That doesn't help.
Yeah, fuck me.
When your quads are so big, obviously your calves are going to look smaller.
His genetic potential for growing quads is fucking absurd. They look like a joke. They literally look like fake quads. On that, people who bring in shit to the gym for no fucking reason. Yes, 100%.
I swear we like bring up a point, we talk about it for like a minute, and then we just like talk about something completely different for the next 15 minutes.
All right, mate. So what's the next one? Go for it.
Right. Regurgitated information from coaches with 0 muscle.
Ooh, yeah.
So, It's another thing of Instagram bodybuilding. So, like, we'll probably all see them with the training videos and the training tips. Do you know what I mean? Like, and all that they've done is literally just take information, whether it be from fucking JP or like Joe Bennett or whoever. Joe Bennett will go on because he's clever and go on about the biomechanics of the lat and the insertions of the lat and why you fucking program this, and this. And then you'll see some skinny cunt who's about 11 stone wet through literally just say why he's training that and why he's doing one specific movement for the insertion of the lat. Do you know what I mean? And he's fuck off.
Lower lat.
Yeah. We're doing this. Do you know what I mean? Or we're doing this because of this. Fuck off, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're just regurgitating everyone else's bullshit and just trying to sell it. Like, ask the fucker about the biomechanics of the lat. Actually have a conversation with him. If someone pulled these people up and actually asked them the biomechanics of the lat, our fuckers would be like that. Don't get me wrong, there's some clever people out there who, if you ask that question to, they'd be able to tell you, but like, you can, again, stereotyping, but you can tell they just train in just like your average little fucking night gear. Do you know what I mean? They'll have the man bags and whatever else on. You ask those cunts, like, they don't even know how many fucking muscles make up a quadricep. Do you know what I mean? Like, the clue's in the answer. Do you know what I mean? If you said how many muscle, like, they won't be able to tell you.
100%.
So,
it's basically just because it's a money-making thing, right? In this day and age, everything's about how well you can market yourself. Now, we all know people, I should imagine, that don't have accolades. They don't have anything to back up. There's no strength. There's no fucking history of getting lean, history of getting clients lean. accolades themselves or education. There's nothing, but they're just really fucking good at advertising themselves.
Yep.
They're good at Instagram.
Yep.
And I think now, because obviously everyone is a coach, but a lot of these younger guys, they haven't got the physique yet. So they think, well, I'm going to play the smart card. I'm going to be the educator or the guy that's really smart. And that's how I'm going to get clients over someone that's like, look at Jace. He doesn't have to talk about the smartest way to train stuff, because he's like, well, look, I'm massive and I bring results. So I don't even have to talk about this shit. That's it, you know?
Yeah.
Three, same.
Yeah, definitely. They're not trying to overcomplicate it. They just have the results.
Yeah.
How I was going to say, how often do you see Martin?
Yeah.
Teams, do you know what I mean? All these top level coaches. How often do you see them describing, like, again, the biomechanics and the insertion of the lat points and why they're doing X, Y, and Z first? They don't need to, because they've got the client base to back it up.
It's funny, I watched a video on someone rowing, and we all know him actually. And he was doing like a voiceover on his video, and it was just, fuck me. It was like talking about he was doing a single arm seated row, and he was talking for about a minute about it. And it's like, I don't know if you need to do that, do you? Like, just pull it. Pull it. You think you know what I'm on about, yeah?
I think I've seen it either yesterday or today. And I just couldn't listen to it, so I just muted it and just fucking like scrolled past it. Like, anything like that, I'm just like, fuck off. Yeah, I've seen this once before. I've seen it fucking 20 times before. I don't care.
Do you know what? It must work for some people. It must. And I get it. I understand. Like, it is nice to know how, like, what's moving what and specifics of like the human body. But I don't know, man. As you say, a lot of the time they don't have the physique to back it up with, which we talked about previously, John, haven't we? They're preaching a certain thing, but they've got fuck all muscle and fuck all accolades. And you're like, oh.
It's like saying, would we tell someone how to be a millionaire? Do you know what I mean? Like, and who would buy into it? If I'm really convincing people about how to fucking make millions, do you know what I mean? Like, I could just chat on and on and on. How many people are going to listen to me? All right, how much money do you have, pal? Are you a millionaire? Nah. Well, I'm not going to listen to you. It's the same with level of physiques. Like, why?
Mate, they do though. This is the funny thing. They do. Now, coaches are trying to teach other people how to be coaches. And you're like, you ain't got a fucking client base. How the fuck are you going to teach people how to be fucking coaches?
Oh my God. That's the new one.
Coaching coaches.
Yeah, that's the new one. That's the new one.
Yes, that's the new one. Yeah.
I know of this, and I know someone who has less than 20 clients who's now offering business mentoring. And I'll say, like, you might want to get your own house in order first, pal. Do you know what I mean? Like,
that happened. You literally nailed it before. You wouldn't tell a millionaire to how to make a million, right? Does this happen in any other fucking field? Like, someone who's not got a fucking science degree, like a master's in science, do they start teaching science? They don't, do they? Like, you need to have the accolades to be able to do something, surely.
Yeah. No disrespect. So, and I like Joe Bennett. Do you know what I mean? And I like what he's about, and I like how in depth he goes to certain things. But realistically, what physiques he built other than Terence Ruffin, and Terence Ruffin's a classic guy, and he does look fantastic, and I do like his physique. But what my point being is that what freaks have they built? What the path? I always think the path's been laid for us before. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can always advance things, you can always you can always do science, etc., etc. But look back to like, fucking hell, 60s, 70s, 80s. I'd say the 90s, like our era growing up, like 90s, early 2000s. Do you know what I mean? Where did any of them, even like now, even like look on the Olympia stage, how many of those people have used like fucking bands, cuffs? Do you know what I mean? How they've all made the gains, they've all made the progress, lifting heavy, eating a lot of food, training hard, just nailing the basics consistently. And none of those physiques have been built on what these people are preaching, which is just the fact that they deliver it with such a clear message and direct message, like, this is what you need to do to build muscle. No, again, try it yourself. But
I agree. It's funny how, like, like the methods that like JP, like, to be honest, like the top pros, how many of them are actually doing like minimal volume, a top set, back off set, and that's kind of it. It's not really that, like, the methodology that is like pushed by a lot of people. It's not really what the top guys are doing.
Nope.
It's weird. A lot of top guys are doing bro splits, but bro splits were like demonized as like the worst thing ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, they say you got to be of certain advancement to do a bro split. That's what they say.
I don't know, man. I always did a bro split when I was first coming up.
Oh yeah, so did I.
And I got bigger. I got bigger and stronger. You know.
I think enjoyment comes, is one of the biggest factors actually. If someone said to me the best way to grow is to do full body 4 times a week, fuck that. I could not. If that is the best way to do it, it's not the best way for me because I would hate that.
Yeah, 100%.
How many people that have been recently as well? You see coaches, and again, top level coaches, high expensive coaches programming their weaker body parts 3 times a week, and then when you see them on stage, they're still lacking in that department.
Mm-hmm.
Like, surely you can't enjoy training whatever 3 times a week. Do you know what I mean?
So that's a good one. So I was speaking to a client about this week actually. So what's your opinion, both of you, in fact? If you've got a weak body part, what do you think? Train it less? So train it 1 time to allow more recovery and just reduce volume elsewhere? Or would you say train it more and then reduce volume? How would you structure like a weak body part?
I would say... Oh, go on. Yeah, go on. You go first.
I'm going to say twice a week, personally. But
2 times a week?
Yeah, twice a week.
Would you reduce down volume elsewhere?
It depends what recovery capabilities allow for. There's, again, like in terms of... Depends the person, depends their strengths, depends the weaknesses, recovery capabilities, PED user, not PED user. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many things. But if they can afford... If they can afford to, again, like this is another thing, like with, like say, reducing volume elsewhere, how do we know that they can't recover from just more work in general? So like Milos Sarchev, not all these guys, 6 days a week, twice a day, do you know what I mean? Like, and they make progress, like giant sets training. So
basically, you think a lot of people, they think they can, they don't believe they can handle that much, but actually they can handle way more than what they realize.
Yes, correct. So everyone seems to think that this golden number of how many like working sets and how many reps and how much volume, and that's it. That's all that the human body can take. Nope.
Do you know what? I think before looking at someone's volume, if a client comes up to me, actually, in fact, I've just got a guy and he's been training for like 20 years and he's a competitor. He looks like he's huge. His quads are behind. And I didn't say to him, look, we're going to change the volume. We're going to do more volume or less volume or intensity. I said to him, next leg session, record it and send me the sets. I want to see how you execute it. Because chances are he's training like shit. So he's not connecting to the muscle. He's just moving weight. And that's probably it. So the first thing I ever look at is how are you executing the sets that you are doing? Let's make the sets that you're doing now better instead of adding more of the same shit. Adding more shit work doesn't mean better.
Yeah, that's a good point. You could add another day in, but he's doing it all wrong anyway. It's all fucking just bullshit. Yeah. That's a good point.
I do normally think like twice a week sufficient on a weak body part.
How many times a week would you train like just normal, like a normal body part for you?
Me, once.
You do every once a week, but if it's weaker, you go twice.
Yeah.
And you train? Oh, sorry, mate.
Well, mine's like, say like quads, I train like once every 9 days, but that's because I don't. But compared to everything else, I don't need as much quad. But like my push is like a lot more because I need a lot more up here. So it varies on the body part.
I'm more of a two a week guy across the board, to be honest. But I don't know. I don't really know. I don't think there is one set answer, to be honest. I think
No.
Again, clever programming, yes. Like I can understand 3 sessions a week, but again, at the same time, realistically, like just say again, you're training legs 3 times a week.
If you're doing it properly,
I couldn't
there's no way.
Like, I think a lot of the people that train like 3 times a week are the ones that train in the reps in reserve. I can't imagine how I'm going to go on a Monday, go all out on the hack squat, then go back there on a Wednesday, do all out on the leg press, then go back on a Friday and do, I don't know, all out on no chance.
Well,
here, I wouldn't have it.
Training like shit, you're not going to failure. If you're going to failure, there's no way you can do that. There's no way.
No, unless it's peak week, I'm not leaving reps in reserve. I'm not going in the gym just leave reps in reserve because what's the point?
We're going to talk about this, Joe. We're going to get someone who fucking believes that shit one time. We're going to get him on it.
We've got someone, yeah.
Let's get a conclusion on that. Move on. What kind of fucking? What was the point?
It was the kit that people carrying like loads of kit in the gym, and it's just
no. That was the one before. It was coaches with zero muscle preaching about how to build muscle.
Oh yeah.
There you go. So I'm going to edit that. All right. Coaches with zero muscle preaching a load of shit, fuck all muscle himself. In the bin. Yes, 100%, mate. Go on then, last one, mate. Let's have it.
Final one. Coaches sponsoring shows.
Ooh, yeah, controversial shit. That.
Fucking who cares? Like I'm not being funny, right? It's again, you can use a different analogy. Imagine, like, let's just again take football for an example. Champions League final last year, Liverpool versus Real Madrid. Imagine if Liverpool sponsored their own Champions League final. Just say they want. You're just going to say, corrupt as anything. Do you know what I mean? Coaches sponsoring shows to me shouldn't be happening. There's enough supplement companies, there's enough clothing companies, there's enough brands within the industry to be able to go and reach out to them to sponsor shows. Because if coaches have athletes within that show and they win, do you know what I mean? Like,
and
yes,
they do.
It's financially driven, though, isn't it? So they know if they keep the coach happy, the coach continues to supply the people for their shows. They know it all feeds one another.
Yeah.
But shouldn't be. I don't know.
I mean, that's just a personal opinion. Like, if you've got if you're an active coach within the industry and you're supplying athletes into that show, I'm not saying they're not the best on the day, because most of the time, do you know what I mean, they would be. Like, most of the time the judging is, do you know what I mean, pretty fair. But from an outsider's point of view, like, you're looking at it, you're being like, did he win? Like, there was an example last year, and do I say it? Do I not say it?
You go on, say
it. The MK Classic, lad who won the British this year.
Yes, Cuba's guy.
Yeah.
No, he won. He won that show. He won the overall on that show. But the lad who come third in that class then went on 2 weeks later to win the British final, take the pro card.
Is that Niall?
Is that his name? Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, the mixed race dude from up around here.
Yes, correct.
What's the guy that's taking classic? He's one of Cuba's guys.
Oh,
yeah,
Lewis Widgery.
Yes. And he beat him. And then 2 weeks later, that Niall went and beat him. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can make drastic improvements in 2 weeks. I do know that. But then from third to first, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then take Brandon Harding. Obviously, he lost to, someone else in the show that Callum was sponsoring. And then 2 weeks later, week later, he goes and wins his pro card. So,
yeah, but you know what? You can turn up a bit off. You know what I mean? Like, we see it in the pro ranks all the time, and sometimes, like, someone will turn up, and in your head, you think they should smash it, and they're a bit off. And then 2 weeks later, they nail it. You know what I mean? Like, it can happen. But
they did say that. They did say that. They said, we're not coming in at 100% because we want to hold off until... Yeah.
Yeah. No. I fucking hate that shit. Yeah, but I do think that it is possible to be, not quite there, like, not on purpose, but you just miss the mark.
Yeah, no, 100%. No, I agree. That's what I mean. Like, it can. That I wasn't saying that result shouldn't have happened. By the way, my point was being that, like, if you've got very good people there, and then you've got athletes within that show who have coaches who are sponsoring the show, you're like, right, okay, like, he's only won that because of, do you know what I mean? Like,
if anything, it dampens the result. If you're that guy, all of a sudden, everyone's questioning it, aren't they? Like, thinking, should you have got it? Yeah.
That's what I mean. I'm not saying it's not based on ability. That's what I mean. Like, by all means, like, Niall was off that show. Do you know what I mean? Like, then you could see that. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't 100%. The point being was that it took it away from it took it away from Lewis, because it then makes it look like, well, do you know what I mean? Like, he's he's coached by Cuba. Do you know what I mean? But realistically, on the the day. Yeah, he did. But like I say, it dampens the result if you're looking who won, are the coach by such and such, are the sponsor in the show. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, 100%.
I just think eradicate it from the sport. Like
yeah, I agree, man. You know Dan Welber?
Yes.
He's got loads of bikini girls and loads of figure girls, and when they compete, he stepped away from the judging table. And I think things like that need to be happening more. Like,
yeah.
I know it's slightly different from sponsoring a show, but still, like, you don't want any sort of doubt shrouding like the athlete. So you have your fucking amazing day, you've done this amazing prep, took a lot out of you, and then you finally win, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, you only won because it just ruins it, doesn't it? 100%. But money talks. Money talks.
And you do see the coaches that do sponsor certain shows only send their clients to these shows. So like Callum never has clients in the PCA. You just don't hear of that.
No. Is that because of his choice, or is that because of like the people go to him to do that, or like which was first? Did he decide it, or did the client? I don't know.
Same with
he's known as a pro coach, isn't he? So meaning that his goal is to turn people pro, and the way you turn pro is through the two bros. But
yeah,
I don't
know. So RF though, a load of LRF people like team going to, and I know they do two bros, I know they do FitX, but the majority of them do two bros.
Mm.
Like,
yeah. Well, to be honest, imagine your two bros. Imagine you're a business. You're a business, and these people supply you with like. Imagine Cuba, LRF, and Callum probably supply them like 40% of their fucking income.
Yep.
So keeping them happy is of their interest.
Yeah, keeping them happy is that you keep. I was about to say, keep coaches happy. I know it's a business, and you've got to operate like a business. Bodybuilding is a business, but at the same time, you don't. Yeah, I don't really think you need to be giving them shows. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
That's, like I say, it's personal opinion. Like, I just you want to try and keep. It's like when they shared a certain prep coach. Do you know what I mean? Like earlier this year. Well,
yeah,
it strikes as favoritism. Do you know what I mean? Like, because you're happy to. They shouldn't be promoting no federation should be promoting the services of another coach. Do you know what I mean? Like, do the PCA openly say, "Oh, go and get prepped by Dan Welburn"? Do you know what I mean? He's won X amount of swords. No, they don't. And they realise.
I saw that post earlier in the year where they were promoting. Ref, weren't they?
Yeah, and they know that they fucked up because a lot of people had a moan about it, but like
they removed the post.
Well, they had to, obviously, because of the backlash from it, because it's out of order. And it takes away from the girl who they promoted. Because she's a pro now. She's a very, very good competitor.
Yeah.
But again, if any of her clients win a two bro show, or she didn't win the British, but for an example, if she would have won the British, you're like, nah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The biggest thing, isn't it? It almost detracts from the competitor, because people think, well, you've only won because your coach is sponsoring the show.
Yeah. It's a shame. Yeah, it's a shame. So that definitely needs to go in the fucking room. 100%. 100%.
But do you think they're going to do anything about it?
No. Yeah.
Make money.
Make money, yeah. I mean, I was about to say, you've got a leisure centre there that's pretty much self-funded. Do you know what I mean? Like, their outgoings are fucking minimal. Their incomings are maximal. Do you know what I mean? They're just going to keep going and going and going. Like,
how can they have regionals all in the same fucking one? All in the same venue?
Oh, no.
That's one of the things that puts me off two bros. If they just had something more local.
They did Wigan. Don't forget they did Wigan.
Did they do Wigan?
Yeah, do you not know? That was the MK Classic. They done Wigan.
I actually didn't know that.
That was probably because Cuba put his hand in his pocket. I don't know. I'm speculating. I was going to say it's probably because Cuba put his hand in his pocket and paid for an actual arena with that stage lighting. Do you know what I mean? And that's why the photos and everything look pretty good, because it was done on an actual stage.
Yeah, I did not know.
When they started to do better, because especially with the FitX have it bang on.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Well, FitX and PCA seem to have it bang on, but two bros have got the fucking pro card. That's it.
You can argue PCA have been around for so long that they by default are going to have the best like connections to like venues and things like that. But the FitX hasn't been around for that long, and they still like their lighting's the best. You know, the way they run it, it's just so professional. I mean, we've been to so many like shows, and they all run exactly the same way.
Yeah.
And it's good. It is a good chill out atmosphere. Fit.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Well, I think PTA has the most numbers in the UK. So PTA is technically bigger than Two Bros, but they just don't have the card.
I'd say it's more competitive. And I mean,
yeah, so we spoke about this before. Basically, the best of the best at Two Bros is the top.
Yes.
But the general populace of both, I would say PTA is better.
Yeah, 100%. Because, like you say, with Two Bros, you're either getting the best of the best or some absolute newbie who looks like shit and just wants to stand upstairs, you know what I mean, to say that they've been on Two Bros stage and stood with X, Y, Z. It's either really shit or really good.
Yeah, all the delusional ones going for their pro cards, you know, when they've never even stepped on stage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then
usually they're the ones that do the regional. They'll do the regional just to get the qualification. So they look like shit. But they're also the one that are like delusional enough to sign up to 6 classes. You know? So they're the ones that they want. They're the people that they're after.
Isn't it like 150 a class as well?
Yeah, well, is it 125, 150? I can't remember.
£150.
Plus your NPC membership.
Oh, yeah.
That's like 80 quid or something, isn't it?
No, it's 150. I'm sure it's 150. I'm sure that's 150. I'm sure it's per category 125. Then you got photos on top of it. It turns up to like near enough like 5 ton. That's minus accommodation.
Yeah. The guy I know in one of the gyms here, he signed up to like 7 classes or some shit. He didn't even place in one. And it was like, he actually looked really good, but he didn't even place in one. It was like, why? Like,
so we spent like £1,000 just to enter. And he didn't...
Yeah.
What's he do? I want his job.
He literally just fucking got £1,000 and just fucking wiped his ass.
Yeah, and they'll do board shorts beginners, board shorts like tall. Then they'll do classic, and it's like, how can you fit the criteria for like 7 classes? How does that work?
It's a joke, man.
Did he get a 10x sponsorship at the end of it as well, or not?
I don't know. He must have.
If you get that, you've got a better chance of winning. I guess there's that in there.
That's it. Yeah.
The Godfather.
They think, he'll come back. Let's give him one of them classes. He'll come back next year.
And you'll get a link from Justin.
Yeah. Don't say too much. Don't say too much because they're going to place you next year.
Oh yeah.
Hey, like
I place him.
If the Godfather, unless you're a bikini girl or like some really really good looking lads, you ain't getting wanked off, mate.
Shit, yeah, it's fun. I'm fucked.
If the Godfather of bikini, that's, you know what I mean. You've just got to be like, yeah.
Isn't that self-given name though? Yeah.
Well, I'd like to think so because I hope no bikini girls ever said that to him. And that is a self-proclaimed title. Pretty sure of it.
Fuck me. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I reckon after all that shit that went on this year, I wouldn't be surprised if someone else takes over.
There's been rumours about FitX taking it, isn't there?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, is there?
Yeah, I'm not saying I believe it in any way, but I've just heard it about 5 times over the last year. I don't know.
That would be good. Because they actually run their shit properly.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And then we'll see who likes 10X and who wants to be sponsored by 10X and who wants to get fell up and molested then. No one. Oh, you can just imagine the allegations that are going to come out once Two Bros end.
Oh man, I know. But a load of people, like, it's like, the Me Too movement. They only say it when after the event. Like when they're getting the leg up, they got nothing to say then.
Nope.
Then once Two Bros lose the power, I imagine loads of stuff's going to come out.
Yeah, that's it then.
Well, that's a bit like the UK BFF. Like now everyone slags them off because they're irrelevant.
Yeah.
Do you know they're a federation?
Huh?
Do you know they're still a federation? Do you
know?
I
know. I see people still competing with them.
Hey.
Yeah, one of the guys in our gym we're just done a show there.
Anyone turn up?
Yeah.
Wait, what is it with all these like random federations that are cropping up now? Like, I don't even know what the one is, but like, there's a new one, isn't it?
There's one that was in Preston, so not far from me, and someone was competing, and it was like, it was similar to UK BFF. It was like EFBFF or something like that.
Yeah. Was it NFBF or something? Yeah, I can't even remember. But it's like a random fucking federation. And when you look at the lineup, there's like a load of different people doing it. I'm like, what? Like,
where have these people come from?
Where have you got the federation from? Or where have you heard about this show from?
Yeah.
Like,
It's not advertised well, is it? Like,
no.
It's not like you see it on Instagram, is it? Like, so how the fuck do you hear about it? Like, what the fuck?
And it actually looks better than the Two Bros.
Yeah,
Good.
Fuck me, you go out in the street light and just fucking like stand on a platform. It's better than Two Bros, mate.
The one time I did Two Bros, I literally did it in a car park. I swear to God.
Yeah, but that was the first show like after COVID, wasn't it? So that's probably why.
But they advertised it in a different way. So I paid the money thinking, here we go. And then it was just shit. It was dog shit.
It was in a tent outside.
Yeah. It was literally in a gazebo, yeah.
Outside the centre that now they hold every show in. Bad, isn't it?
Yeah. But then people still keep paying, mate. Still keep paying.
You're going for a pro card, aren't you? Like, when you're dangling the carrot of, like, you can knock a pro card, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to keep coming back until I get that pro card.
Well, I'm waiting for the fucking reach round. I want the fucking...
And every year, it's like someone like foreign that turns up that you've never even heard of from, like, Hungary or some shit, comes in, just, like, wipes the entire show.
I know. It's fucking weird. They just turn up, don't they? And you're like, who the fuck are you? And they win.
Yeah,
it's mental, mate. Right, we need to fucking wrap this shit up. So,
I know.
Conclusion. Should coaches be sponsoring shows?
No.
Absolutely fucking not. In the fucking room 101. Right. Mate, thank you very much for your time. That will conclude today's.
Pleasure, chaps. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, man. Catch you later.
Peace out.